You know, the thing is that anytime you have your credit card application rejected, this could be really like traumatic in some cases if you apply over and over and over. So in today's conversation, I really want to share with you a few hacks that will help you actually recover real quick. If you have your credit card application rejected, here are the steps I really want you to pay attention to. The very first thing I want you to really pay attention to is to read the rejection notice. See, the whole thing is, I know you're probably traumatized right now. I mean, you're like, pissed, real pissed. How dare they? I've applied several times. I have a good job. I have a good salary, whatever. But hey, listen. I want you to read right now the rejection notice. What are they talking about? You have to understand, by law, the issuer must give a reason for rejecting the application if it's because of information in your credit report. Okay, it's an adverse action notice. If the denial is because of income or any other non-credit factor, the issuer will probably tell you that too. So it's really important to understand that, hey, listen, don't actually be too emotional here. And when we talk about rejection notice, you can have it in paper form, or you can have it in electronic form. Okay, and one thing, and sometimes you can actually get the info on the phone also. Like if you call, let's say you have applied for your Discover credit card, right? And you waited for 24 hours or 48 hours. Usually those credit card issuers, they have an automatic number that you can actually call. And once you actually enter your social or the last 4 digits of your social, you probably have the info right away. Okay. So it's important that when we talk about the rejection notice, it's something I really want you to pay attention to. Now, there are probably more, but there are three primary reasons you will see on the rejection notice. Either because you have a limited credit history. So basically, if you are, let's say you are young, you're 18 or 21, whatever, or you are sort of like in your 20s, but you haven't had time to actually build credit, this could be one reason. Okay. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. We love having this sort of convos every now and then. So mi casa, tu casa, just make yourself comfortable here. So if you have a limited credit history, this could be a problem. And if you also have some negatives on your credit report, let's say you have some negatives on your Experian, on your TransUnion, on your Equifax, this could be also a pillar, or this could be a negative pillar for that decision. Okay. Or you just have applied for too many times, like you have too many credit card applications or too many credit applications in general. So this could be one reason. Another reason why you are like, if you read the rejection notice, you probably notice that they are talking about your income is too low. Now, when it comes to income being low, there's nothing you can really do. I mean, if you think about it, you can't lie on a credit card application. I mean, you can't be like if you're making 40 grand, you can't say, well, I'm making 80 grand or I'm making 70 grand. I mean, first of all, it's a crime. It's a federal crime to actually to lie on a financial application, whatever, on a financial document. So don't ever do that. And number two, think about if they ever approved you based on your high income, on your false income. Imagine the problems later on. So if you have low income, all you can do is try to really be patient. Okay, you have to actually suck it up. Let's just see it that way. Yeah, you have to suck it up and actually just try to have a side gig. Probably drive for Uber or DoorDash and whatnot, at least, or maybe tutor online, whatever you have to do to beef up your income. Work on that. Okay. Or another reason we have seen actually you could be actually denied is if you have too much debt. Okay, so when we talk about too much debt, I'm talking about here not just your revolving credit. See, not just your credit cards and lines of credit. This could be your installment loans. It can be your student loans. This could also be auto loans, like consumer loans. Like auto loans can be a wedding loan or whatnot. Like whatever, it can be a home improvement loan. So if you have too much debt, this could be problematic. Okay, and when we talk about too much debt, there is a correlation between too much debt and your debt to income ratio. So what will happen here is that if you have too much debt, chances are if your income is static, you're going to have a high DTI, a high debt to income ratio, right? Because if the denominator of the fraction, the income is static, but your debt keeps going up, it means that the fraction, the DTI is going to go up, and you don't want to have a high DTI. You don't want to have a high DTI. Okay. By the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation. I'm giving you 5 quick steps to recover after your credit card application is rejected. what should you do? But I'm first, the number one, you need to read the rejection notice. And I'm just explaining to you things you can see on the rejection notice. Okay. So if you're too young, also, this could be a problem. Yeah. You could be rejected because you're just too young. The second thing I want you to do here is to actually review your credit. I mean, I know, like, you are bombarded. Yeah, like you get so much information every single day, every single week about your credit. Like everybody's trying to really get your business, whatever, right? But besides the annualcreditreport.com, you can actually sign up for free, okay, with one of those players like you have Nav, you have Nerd Wallet, right? You have Wallet Hub. Those are the most serious one that we know. And you can also have Credit Karma. So the whole thing is that, when we talk about reviewing your credit, I'm not just saying you have to review your credit and look at if everything is fine. No, you got to do more than that. So, granularity. Why is my credit score like? If you spot a derogatory item on your credit report, you want to really, really probe that item. Okay, I'm not just talking about filing a dispute letter with the bureau or with the data furnisher in the first place. No, you also want to make sure that you got to ask yourself: am I a victim of identity theft? If I am, then what should I do really to prevent that from happening in the future? So the point I'm trying to make here is that you take a situation and you're trying to use it to the best of your ability to make sure that you are using the info to your advantage. So this is important to really think about. Okay, and so the thing is, your rejection notice might mention your credit score as a factor in the decision. If so, it will say that you have a right within the next 60 days to request a free copy of the credit report used in the application decision. Okay, so get that report. Usually it's annualcreditreport.com, but get the report. And the thing is that when we talk about errors are common. Okay, if you find a mistake, dispute them in writing with the credit bureau, please. In writing. You can call, you can actually fax, whatever, but it's also good to mail something, to mail a letter, to mail a dispute letter. And what you want to do is you want to mail a letter with the receipt confirmation. You want to have receipt confirmation via USPS, UPS, or FedEx. The next thing I want you to do here, boss, is to double check the application. I mean, everybody makes errors. Okay, stuff happens. Some errors are just like purely honest, right? Straight honest. Let's say you're making $5,000 and you just happen to put 50 grand on the application. This could happen, honest mistake, whatever. Okay. But it's really important to double check the application. Go back to the application. This is why we tell our viewers all the time to not apply. If you apply for a credit card online, at least you want to print out the confirmation page before hitting submit. You want to print out or you want to save, you want to have a screenshot. Okay, at least you want to have a record of the kind of info you inputted on the application in the first place. That way you can actually just go back and say, okay, I got denied because of this, because of that. At least you have a clear paper trail. You have a clear track record to see exactly what happened. Okay, so double check the application. If you spot something, if you spot a mistake, well, you want to contact the credit card issuer and say, listen, I think I made a mistake when I first applied with you guys. Okay, so boss, I want to quickly remind you to this topic again. I'm just talking to you about 5 steps to recover after your credit card application is rejected. Okay, so when we talk about errors, it's not only in terms of profit, in terms of income, it could also be in terms of loss. So let's say, or in terms of expense, let's say you reported on your application that your rent was 6,000, even though it's just 600. See, when we talk about either you increase your income or increase your expense, this could be problematic. Okay, this could be problematic. So it's one of those things you want to pay attention to. And again, the bottom line here is that if you want to avoid all those things, just try to limit your credit card applications and maybe apply offline. apply at a branch, apply, on a paper form. I mean, mistakes are really, really harder to make on paper form than online. It's not just fat finger mistakes that can really trip you up. You also need to know what counts as income. Okay, most issuers don't specify how applicants should report income, so some report only their own independent earnings. The next thing I want you to do here, boss, is to ask again. I mean, I know you probably are tired because you actually have applied several times and your credit card application keeps getting rejected over and over and over. This could be really, traumatizing, because the whole thing here, you just sitting around and you just fill out the paper. Like, you went online, right? You spent time, 30 minutes, and you even called your wife or husband to come look at the application for you, just to just sort of like corroborate everything and to confirm and double check whatever you do. You've done all these things, and again, they denied your ass. It could be really traumatizing. But hey, listen, you know what? Don't drop the ball. Ask again. Okay, ask again. Because see, if you got a rejection notice, if you reviewed your credit report, if you double checked the application, you probably noticed the stuff that you actually had wrong in the first place, because now you probably have a good idea of the issuer's approval standards and how you missed the mark in the first time. Sometimes it's best to accept the decision and apply for a card you are more likely to receive. But if you think you are close to meeting the issuer's criteria, you want to call the customer service and ask for a reconsideration, right? It's all about asking again. But just please make sure that you are not lying, that you really have something solid to actually offer them. Because the same way you can make a mistake, those credit card issuers, they make mistakes too. They're humans, okay? Obviously, they do have some robots and algorithms and whatnot to sort of track applications and track open card holders, current card holders, but there are sometimes they make mistakes. So please ask again, and maybe you could be actually maybe the second time or the third time could be a charm. One thing I want to say also when it comes to asking again is, hey, listen, probably you can actually just ask again with a stronger application. Like, you could probably just now co-apply for the credit card with your husband or wife. So instead of having one income, now you have two income, right? The two income levels or two income sources. This is really cool, because then you really, like, you will see your DTI will go down really drastically, and you see your overall income go high pretty drastically too. One thing I really want you to also do is to now, if you want to recover after your credit card application is rejected, it's really important to start lowering the ball. See, not the ball, lowering the bar. See, the whole thing, when you lower the bar, it's not about just like dropping the ball and trying to reinvent something else. No, you are just trying to understand reality as it's presented to you, and you're trying to make the best out of it. Okay, so let me give you an example. If you have bad credit, make sure you identify a card that actually is suitable, or at least is friendlier to folks in the subprime category. If you have fair credit, same thing. You always want to apply for a card that matches your credit bandwidth, because your credit score is the underwriter, and that is that card's underwriter's very first opinion. Okay, so this is really important. So apply for a card you can get, and also make sure that the card that you are looking for not only fits your credit profile, but also gives you the benefits that you're looking for, right? If you're looking for let's say a cash rewards credit card, or you're looking for a cash, not like a regular everyday rewards credit card, or looking for a balanced transfer credit card, whatever it is, just make sure that the card you're applying for fits your credit criteria. Okay, if you have bad credit or no credit, consider applying for a secure credit card, which is a card that really requires a security deposit, right? You can actually build credit by using this card responsibly. So credit card. Let me ask you, boss, have you been rejected for a credit card application in the past? If yes, Have you applied for another card that you could get, or you applied for the same? You went back to the same card and applied again and again and again. Talk to me about that, because we're interested in having the kind of experience, that the kind of stories that we have from our viewers, and it's really important to understand that you make a decision at the end of the day based on your reality. You have to apply for the card that actually meets your reality. So apply for a card you can get. There is also another thing that's very interesting. When we talk about applying for the card you can get, you also have to think about the conditions that you're coming with. You see, the thing is, when we talk about credit card, it's not just banks and credit unions that are issuing credit cards nowadays. You have online lenders. Okay, so you have the new wave of fintechs. So you have the upstarts, you have the Avant. They all have credit cards now. They have credit cards. You have you also have Avant, you have Upstart, you have another player that I'm just blanking on right now. But the bottom line here is that you want to actually apply for the card that you can get, and maybe it's time to consider an online lender. I mean, nobody thinks about getting a credit card from the likes of Avant, but hey, listen, Avant is a solid company. They're a solid lender, and whatever they're proposing is just really great. Okay. And one thing I want to say also is that you also want to make a decision way in advance. So decision time, big decision time. Are you thinking about applying for a credit card in the next 3 months? Are you thinking about applying for a credit card in the next 1 month, in the next 30 days? How early are you close to applying for a new credit card, if ever? The reason why you have to, this things takes a lot of, sometimes it takes a lot of time. Like, for example, to get your name and DB or whatever, like, you're going to have to, first of all, confirm that it's really what the card is. It's all about that card, specific card. But the best way to really actually fix that problem is just get a credit card you can get from a bank that knows you, a bank that you have been like patronizing for a while now, and you're pretty comfortable. They know you at the branch, and it's a lot easier to actually start a conversation with someone that you actually like. So you want to apply for a card at a branch, and preferably what you want to do here is you want to actually bring the rejection notice that you just got, and you want to bring all the mitigating factors. Like, if you think there was a mistake on your loan amount, then you could probably just like take your pay stub and show the credit card issuer that, hey, listen, I'm making more money than you guys are considering me. You are considering me for. Okay. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about 5 steps that you can take right now to recover after your credit card application is rejected. So number 1, read the rejection notice. Number 2, you want to review your credit. Number 3, you want to double check the application. Number 4, you want to ask again. And number 5, you want to apply for a card you could actually get. Thank you.